This morning I want to talk about expectation. Check up on your expectation muscle and see how well it's working this morning. So I looked up what expectation means in the dictionary, and you'll get words similar to these. It's when you're looking forward to something. So what is it you're looking forward to? What is it you're expecting? It's to envisage something, it's to imagine something, and you get a sense of something. You get you've heard people say, "Oh, I felt it, I feel it in my bones," as though something is about to happen. You contemplate something, so you're constantly thinking about what it is you can see in the future, what it is that you're expecting. You reckon on it, you count on it, and expectation is almost the same as already having it, and you foresee it in the future. You're looking forward to something. So what is it you're expecting today? What is it you've got in your heart that you're expecting? And this is what I want to just explore this morning. And when we were in Sunday school, we used to sing a song, and it went like this: expect a miracle every day. Expect a miracle when you pray. If you believe it, God will find a way. So expect a miracle every day. So this is what we're thinking about this morning. It's just one word really: expect, or expectation. And we're going to just explore that. Now, we use it in everyday life for lots and lots of things, lots and lots of situations, just to give you an idea of what I mean. Now then, what's this guy expecting?
A bus.
He's waiting for a bus. What do you think he's expecting? Yeah, the answer's a bus. Why is he sat there? It looks a very slim seat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that nowadays.
Yeah. Why is he there? Why has he got up, got dressed, sat there, and looking into the distance? It's because he's expecting something. And why does he expect it to come? Well, he read in a little book or pamphlet or something, and he read a timetable. And he says the bus will appear at a certain time. And he believed what he read. And that made him sit there, waiting, expecting a bus. There's a lesson there, isn't there, for us? What have you been reading? What have you read? And have you got ready? And are you waiting expectantly for what you've read? What are you expecting? Now then, I'm sure you've been in this situation before. It says when the red light shows, you've got to wait here. And if that happens to you and you're in a queue, what are you expecting? There's only one thing to expect, isn't there? You're expecting that red light to change to green so that you can move on. So whatever situation you're in, you're waiting and expecting it to change. You're expecting it to become positive so that you can move on again. What are you expecting? Now then, we predict things as well, don't we? The weather forecast, they come on either just before the news or just after the news, and they tell us what to expect at least the following day and a few days later. But we can look up in the sky, can't we, and we can recognise what to expect. And here, in this picture, well, it looks as though rain's on its way. So that's what you're expecting. You're expecting what you can foresee by knowing your surroundings and what what the weather is telling you. You can read the signs of the weather and it tells you what's happening. Now, in this instance, the rain came. And what do you think she might be expecting now? Oh, by the way, she went out prepared, at least sort of.
Just a sort of
She got an umbrella.
through in the rain.
So she was expecting it to rain, and so she took an umbrella. I think it must have been in a hot country. Either that or it's good AI. So what would she now be expecting, now the rain has come?
To get wet.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm getting heckled here. It's to get wet, he said. Yeah, she would expect that, but there's only one thing you can expect now if the rain has come, is for the rain to stop. That's the only thing that can happen. So if you're in the rain at the moment, if everything seems to be, making you wet, it will stop and it won't continue forever. It will stop. It reminds me of the story of the country preacher when he was at a conference, and they were all going round the room asking what their favourite verse was. Comes to him and he said, "Well, my favourite verse is this. It says, 'It come to pass.'"
Yeah.
And they looked around a little bit, confused. I thought, how on earth can that be his favourite verse? It's a bit like Once Upon a Time, or just the beginning of a story. It came to pass. So he went on to explain. He said, well, whenever anything bad is happening, I remind myself that it's come only to pass, and it's never going to be the same. Everything is in a state of change. So if the clouds are around you, if the things are going wrong around you, it's not going to stay like that forever, because it's come to pass. Just like the rain here will stop at some point. So what are you expecting? And have you gone out prepared? That's the lesson from that one. So what I want you to get to this point. I want you to get to the point where you are expecting something good is about to happen. You may have been expecting something for a long, long time, and you're beginning to doubt whether it's ever going to happen. Well, I'm here this morning to say something good is just about to happen. So don't give up. Don't give up expecting what you believe God has told you He's going to do. It is just around the corner. Something good is about to happen. And again, this happens in normal life, doesn't it? We expect good things to happen. At this season in the year, we expect Santa's coming when it's coming to Christmas. Yeah? And we plan for it, don't we? It's a long, long planning time. The shops decide to sell the stuff in August, it seems. And, we plan, get presents for people, and we get parties arranged. Everything is all leading up to that one day, Christmas Day. And we are expecting it a long time before. But we're expecting it to be good, aren't we? Expecting something good. What about this one? Now then, you go and book your holiday destination, usually quite a while before you go. And you look through the brochures and you think maybe this one, maybe that one, and then all of a sudden you say, oh no, that's got to be the one. And you pick it, and you book it, and you pay for it. And you dream about it, don't you? You think, oh, it's only a month away, or it's only a few weeks away. And you get all excited because you're expecting to go on this amazing holiday. So we use expectation in all kinds of ways all the time. And, what about this one? We use it in this instance as well, don't we? We say somebody's expecting, or I'm expecting, or we're expecting, maybe you say, if you're a couple. And this is what I'm talking about, is the gap between believing and receiving God's promise and actually seeing it fulfilled and now reality. There's a gap, isn't there? And just like there's a gap when you're pregnant, you know you're having a baby but it hasn't arrived yet, and there's a space, and that's what we're talking about this morning, is that space. Are you still expecting? Continue to expect. Don't give up. So, what is it you're expecting? What is it you're looking forward to? What is it that God said to you? What is it He's promised to you? Don't let it go. Keep hold of it and continue to be expecting. So we're going to just look at a few instances from the Bible that illustrate this and show that God was faithful in His promise, and He gave the blessing that He spoke about. So let's just look at one or two. So this is an obvious one. You remember Abraham? He spent a lot of years believing God that he was going to have a son and have descendants. And there was a big problem. Abraham and Sarah were childless. They couldn't have children. And God decided to choose somebody that couldn't have children to build a nation from. Isn't that good? Why would God do that? Well, He did it to show His glory and to show His faithfulness to His promises. And God promised Abraham that he would have descendants. And He told him one day, He said, go out, look up in the sky. And He said, as numerous of all these stars you can see, that's how many descendants you're going to have. And it was a bit of a puzzle for them, wasn't it? They tried to hang on to it. They tried to fix it themselves by having the child from the slave girl. But God was faithful to His promise. And after years of waiting, God fulfilled His word. And Sarah gave birth to Isaac. And Abraham's expectation that was rooted in faith, that was rooted in the promise that God had given him, that God rewarded him with the birth of Isaac. Isn't that amazing? This was another one where Hannah, she couldn't have children either. And it was really, in their kind of culture, it was a big shame not to be able to give birth to a child. And she went to the temple this once, and she was in tremendous anguish, and she was crying out to God and really earnestly praying in the corner of the temple. And Eli, the priest, saw her. He went over to her, and he misjudged what the problem was. He thought maybe she was drunk or something, and but he realised that it was her anguish for a child when she explained it to him.